I'm going to tell you a story of a little girl whose name was Malyang. Malyang is a Chinese girl. She lives in China. Malyang likes to draw, but she is very poor and she has no brush. So Malyang draws on the ground and she uses a stick. One day, Malyang really wishes very hard for a brush. She closes her eyes and says 3 times, I want a brush, I want a brush, oh, I want a brush. So when she opens her eyes, in front of her there is an old man with a long white beard. He's standing there with a brush. The old man goes up to Malyang and he says, take this, this is for you. Malyang says, for me? He says, yes, it's for you, take it, it's yours. It's mine? Yes, it's yours, it's for you, he says. Malyang wants to thank him, so she looks up. The old man is not there. She looks in front of her, he's not there. She looks to the right, he's not there. She looks to the left, he's not there. She looks behind her, he's not there. Malyang then finds a piece of paper. Malyang thinks, what can I draw? She sees a cock. She says, all right, I'm going to draw a cock. Here is its head. Here is its handsome comb. Here is its proud neck, strong body, its long legs, and its strong feet, and the long tail feathers of the cock. Suddenly, the picture begins to move, and the cock stands on the piece of paper. It's a real cock. It jumps out from the paper onto the ground and runs away. So Malyang thinks, this is wonderful. It's a magic brush. What can I draw now? She says, I know. I'm going to draw a hen. So she draws a hen. She draws, this is the head, this is the fat neck and the fat body and the little legs. Suddenly, the picture begins to move and it stands up on the paper. It's a real hen. So Malyang picks up the hen and she goes to a house. In the house, there is an old woman. She's very poor. So Malyang takes the hen and she says to the old woman, take this hen, it's for you. The old woman says, for me? Yes, it's for you. Take it, it's yours. It's mine? Yes, it's yours. It's for you. And the hen lays an egg. The old woman is very happy. Malyang then sees an old man. He is cutting sticks. But his axe is very old. It's blunt and it's very old. So Malyang draws an axe. The axe is sharp and new and shiny. And then suddenly what happens? Suddenly the picture begins to move. And it's a real axe. She takes the axe and takes it to the old man and says, take this, it's for you. The old man says, for me? Yes, it's for you. Take it, it's yours. It's mine, is it mine? Yes, it's yours, it's for you. The old man cuts the sticks and he's very happy. Then along comes a farmer. There's a farmer in the field. He is trying very hard to plow the field. He's pulling the plow and he's really trying hard. So Malyang decides to draw an ox. She draws an ox. Here is its small head and its large gentle eyes. Here is its strong short neck, its long strong body. Here are his short strong legs. Suddenly what happens? The picture begins to move. The picture begins to move. And the ox is standing on the paper. and then he jumps out of the paper and he begins to grow. He grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And when he's a big, strong, handsome ox, Malyang takes the ox to the farmer. And she says, "Take this. This is for you." The farmer says, "For me?" She says, "Yes, it's for you. Take it. It's yours." He says, "It's mine?" He says, "Yes, it's yours. It's for you." And the ox begins to plow the field. And the farmer is very happy. Yes, he's very happy. So everybody likes Malyang. She's also very happy. The villagers are very happy because Malyang draws pictures for all the poor people in the village. One day, two soldiers come into the village and they say, "Where is Malyang?" Everybody knows Malyang, so they say, "There she is. That's Malyang. And she's a wonderful girl." So the soldiers go up to Malyang and they say, "Come with us. The king wants you." Malyang says, "Why?" The soldier says, "He wants you to draw a picture for him." Malyang says, "No, I won't draw a picture for him. He has a palace, he has horses, he has soldiers, and he has lots of money. I will not draw a picture for him." So the soldiers drag Malyang to the king. And the king is in the garden. He's in the garden. He says, "Are you Malyang?" She says, "Yes, I am Malyang." "Have you brought your brush?" She says, "Yes, I have brought my brush." "Draw me a picture. Draw me a tree. Draw a tree for me. Draw me a tree full of gold coins." And Malyang says, No, I won't draw you a tree. I will not draw a tree for you. I won't draw a tree full of gold coins." So the king says, "Draw me a tree. Draw a tree for me. Draw me a tree full of gold coins." And Malyang says, No, I won't draw a tree. I won't draw a tree. I won't draw a tree for you full of gold coins. The king says, "Put her in jail." So they take Malyang to jail. What can poor Malyang do? What can she do? She draws. Yes, she draws a key. She draws a key. She draws a nice big key. And she puts the key in the door of the jail, in the lock. She puts it in the lock and turns the key and opens the door. She looks in the corridor. She looks to her right and she looks to her left. She sees a few soldiers there, but she walks slowly into the corridor. Slowly along the corridor, she's trying to get away. The soldiers see her and they say, "Stop! Hey, stop! Come back! Stop! Come back!" And Malyang begins to run. She runs and runs and runs. But the soldiers are behind her and they are also running after her. They run after her. So what can Malyang do? She draws a horse. She draws a horse. She jumps onto the horse and runs away. But the king and the soldiers, all of them get on their horses and they begin to run. Malyang's horse is very, very fast. But the king and the soldiers are getting closer and closer and closer. So what can Malyang do?
Draws car.
No, she draws a hole. She draws a hole. She draws the hole and she throws it behind her. The hole falls on the ground and begins to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Once it has grown very big, the horses, the king and the soldiers all run into the hole. Then Malyang gets up, walks slowly to her village, very happily, and all the villagers are happy to have Malyang back. They all love Malyang and they happily lived ever after. That's the end of the story. Did you all like the story?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you a story. But this story is very strange. It doesn't move forward if you people don't ask me questions. I'm going to say the first line of the story. Then you have to ask me questions. I can take the story forward only by answering your questions. Alright? There was a green house. Manju?
Where was it?
The green house was at the edge of a big dark forest.
What color of was the house?
I just told you it was green in color. Pooja?
How big was the house?
The house was not very big. It was a small house.
Who lived in it?
An old woman lived in the house. Oh, Vilas.
How old was the woman?
The woman was very old. She was probably 200 or 300 years old.
How did the old woman look?
She was very white to look at. Her hair was white, her face was white, her clothes were white, her eyes were white, her eyebrows were white. She was completely white.
How tall was the old woman, miss?
How tall are you?
5.
She was 3 feet tall.
Did anyone live with the old woman?
Yes, she lived with a cat.
Miss, that cat also white and miss.
No, the cat was purple in color. It was a big purple cat.
What was the cat's food, miss?
The cat used to eat 3 frogs every day.
What would she eat daily?
She would eat red berries every day.
Miss.
How many berries did she eat a day?
She ate 2 buckets of berries every day. 2 buckets.
From where did she get that berries, miss?
The old woman would walk every day. She would walk for 2 miles and go near a cave. And inside the cave, there was a little creeper which had many berries. So she would pluck the berries in the morning and take it home and eat those berries. Ask your question.
Did she have any job?
Yes, she had a job.
What was the job?
She was the village witch.
Old woman's name?
Karthik?
What is her name?
Her name is Subbalakshmi.
How long was the witch's hair?
The witch had a long plait. A very, very long white plait. It was 50 feet long.
Was the witch very bad?
No, she was not very bad.
What did she do daily?
She would go into the forest every day and climb a banyan tree.
How did she climb the tree?
I told you she had a 50 feet long plait. She would throw it on top of the tree and go up.
Miss, but she was old, 300 years old.
That's a statement. I cannot tell you the story.
Miss, when she was climbing the tree with the hair plait, the hair plait didn't cut, miss.
Ask me the question.
Is it the hair strong or weak, miss?
Was the hair very strong?
Yes, miss.
Yes, her hair was very strong. It was a nice thick plait.
Why was she climbing the banyan tree?
There was a machan. You know what a machan is? Machan is a platform. There was a platform on the banyan tree.
Miss, excuse me, miss.
Lakshmi?
What did she go there and do on the platform?
She used to boil something in a pot every day on the platform.
What did she boil, miss?
She boiled many fruits, vegetables, roots, plants in that pot every day. Puja.
Why did she boil the fruits, roots, and the vegetables?
She used to make soup every day.
What would she do with the soup?
She would distribute it to all the animals in the forest.
Why did she distribute the soup?
The soup had healing powers. So she would give it to animals that fell sick. When they drank the soup, they would become well.
Miss, in the forest, all the animals are there, miss.
That's a statement. I can't tell you the story.
Why was she helping the animals?
She liked animals very much. And the animals liked her very much. They would call her their doctor. So she was helping the animals.
Miss?
Karthik?
Miss, animals can eat that old woman no miss.
That's a statement. How do questions begin? What are the words in the beginning of questions? I'm going to tell you a story. A man, his son, and their donkey go to the market. A woman says, "You are very stupid. You have a donkey. You can ride it." So the man gets on the donkey. A man says, "You are not very kind. You ride while your little boy walks." So the man gets off and his son gets on the donkey. A woman says, "You are not very kind to your father. You ride while he walks." So the man gets on the donkey and sits behind his son. A woman says, "Is that your donkey? Are you crazy? Two of you. You're very heavy. Your donkey is nearly dead." So the father and his son get off the donkey. A man says, "Are you going to the market? Carry the donkey. The donkey is very tired." So the father and his son carry the donkey to the market. When they come into the market, everybody laughs at them. Nobody wants to buy the donkey. "Your donkey is very lazy. You have to carry the donkey to the market." So the man, his son, and the donkey walk back home. If you try to make everybody happy, you make nobody happy. What did you think of the story? Did you like it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to tell you a story. The name of the story is The Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, a little red hen lived in a cottage that she shared with her friends, a goose, a cat, and a dog. The goose was a gossip. She chatted with the neighbors all day long. The cat was very vain. She brushed her fur and straightened her whiskers and sharpened her claws all day long. The dog was very sleepy. He slept on the front porch all day long. The little red hen did all the work. She cooked, she cleaned, she raked the garden, she did all the shopping. One day, while returning from the market, the little red hen found some grains of wheat. She put them in her pocket. When she got back home, she asked her friends, "Who will help me plant these grains of wheat?" "If I were free, I would," asked the cat, said the goose. "If I were free, I would," asked the dog, said the cat. "If I were free, I would," asked the goose, said the dog. "I will plant it myself," said the little red hen. And she did. All summer long, she took care of the wheat. She made sure that the wheat had enough water. When the wheat was ready to harvest, she asked her friends, "Who will help me cut and thresh this wheat?" "If I were free, I would," asked the cat, said the goose. "If I were free, I would," asked the dog, said the cat. "If I were free, I would," asked the goose, said the dog. "I will do it myself," said the little red hen. And she did. She cut and threshed the wheat. She put the wheat into a wheelbarrow and said, "This wheat must be ground into flour. Who will help me take it to the mill?" she asked her friends. "If I were free, I would," asked the cat, said the goose. "If I were free, I would," asked the dog, said the cat. "If I were free, I would," asked the goose, said the dog. "I will take it to the mill myself," said the little red hen. And she did. She put the wheat into the wheelbarrow and pushed it to the mill. The miller ground the wheat into flour and put it into a bag for the hen. Then all by herself, she pushed the bags home in the wheelbarrow. One cool morning, many weeks later, the little red hen woke up early and said, "This is the perfect day to bake some bread." So she asked her friends, "Who will help me bake this bread?" So what did her friends say? If I am free, I would. If I were free, I would, asked the cat, said the goose. If I were free, I would, asked the dog, said the cat. If I were free, I would, asked the goose, said the dog. I will bake the bread myself, said the little red hen, and she did. She mixed the flour with the milk and eggs and butter and salt. She kneaded the flour and made it into a dough. She shaped the dough into a nice plump loaf of bread and put it into the oven and watched it while it baked. Soon the air was filled with the smell of baking bread. The goose stopped chatting, the cat stopped brushing, and the dog woke up. And one by one they came into the kitchen. When the bread was baked, the hen removed it from the oven and she asked her friends, "Who will help me eat this bread?" "I will," said the goose. "I will," said the cat. "And I will," said the dog. "You will?" said the little red hen. "Who helped me plant the wheat? Who helped me look after the wheat? Who helped me cut and thresh it? Who helped me take it to the mill? And who baked this bread? I did it all by myself. And now I'm going to eat the bread all by myself," she said. And she did. And that is the end of the story. I'm going to tell you a story from Madagascar. The story is called The Boar and the Chameleon. Now we have sent Shruti and Tejas out of the room. When I finish telling you the story, we will ask them to come back in. And you will tell them the story. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will all listen carefully?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. The boar was hunting for food when it met a chameleon at the foot of a tree. "Hello," said the boar. "You act as if you were half dead, dragging yourself along in that lazy way. Don't be so proud of your strength," retorted the chameleon. "I'm a match for you any day." "Hold your tongue, you little wretched beast," said the boar. "If you think so well of yourself, why don't you run a race with me?" "All right," agreed the chameleon readily. "Do you see that hill? Let that be the goal." So the boar said, "All right," and immediately started to run. But the tricky little chameleon caught hold of the boar's tail. So when the hill was reached, the boar said, "Well, chameleon, where are you now?" "Here I am," said the chameleon, who was quick enough to let go of the boar's tail and drop to the ground. "Well, you run faster than I thought," said the boar. "Let us try again." "This time I will not let myself be beaten," said the boar. So they ran again. But the tricky little chameleon repeated his trick. And for the second time, he reached the goal at the same time as his enemy. "Ha ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!" Where are you this time, little brother? Said the boar. Here I am, said the tricky little chameleon. So this time, the boar, ashamed and puzzled, had to admit that the chameleon had won the race. So there's your story. What did you think of it? You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Tell me, what would happen if one of the friends had helped the hen to either bake the bread or plant the wheat or thresh it or take it to the mill? What do you think would have happened?
If the cat had helped the red little hen, it would have got half of the loaf of bread.
If the dog had helped the hen instead of sleeping, even it would have got some bread, but it wasted its time just by sleeping.
If the hen had not found the seeds, it couldn't have grown the wheat.
That's right. Anything else?
If the dog was hardworking, it wouldn't have been lazy.
If the hen did not maintain the house, then the cat, dog, and the goose would be active.
The hen should have told that if you help me now, I would give you a slice of bread later.
The hen ate all the bread herself and did a right job because the cat, goose, and the dog did not helped her.
What happened to the old woman one day?
One day the old woman was walking to the cave and she came across a big black bear.
Did the bear do something to her?
Yes, the bear said something to her in her ears. Gopi?
What did the bear said in her ears?
The bear told her that her older sister was coming to see her next week. Shamini?
What was her sister's name?
Ratnaka. Kiran will ask.
What did the old woman do to welcome her sister?
All right. The old woman was very happy that her sister was coming. So she spent the whole day in the forest picking very beautiful flowers. She collected all those flowers and brought it to her house.
In which vehicle the older sister will come, miss? In which vehicle did older sister come to see
Her.
her?
She lived really far away. So she came by boat, she crossed the sea, left the boat by the sea, climbed the mountains on foot, and she came to see her sister. Karthik?
Where did the old woman come from?
The old woman came from a far off land which was very cold called Greenland. Manju?
How many hours she traveled?
She traveled 14 days. 14 days she had to travel by sea because it was very, very far away. Nanesh?
Why did the old sister want to see the old woman?
The sister wanted to see the old woman because she had come across a letter. She had come across a letter that was written in a language she did not understand. Dinesh?
What was in the letter?
In the letter was the route map for a treasure. It had a route map for a treasure. Very good. You have to tell the same story from your memory. But you have to tell the story like I said it, in the sequence. Where will we start from? Somebody has to start.
There was a poor girl called Malian, and she was a Chinese. That is, she lived in China, and she loved to draw. So she always wished she could draw, and because she didn't have money to buy brushes, paints, and all that, she always drew on the floor or the ground with the help of a stick. And then one day she said 3 times, "I want a brush, I want a brush, I want a brush," and she got. Then suddenly she
Stop. From here, I want Shamini to tell the story.
And suddenly, an old man came in front of her
he had a long beard, and he had a brush in his hand, and the old man gave Malyan a brush, and she asked, is it for me? And he told, yes, it is for you only. And is it mine? She asked, and yes, it is for you only. And she took, and she looked up, and the old man was not there, and she looked up front, and the old man was not there, and she looked up right, and he was not there, and she looked to her left, and he was not there, and she looked behind, he was not there, and
stop. Dinesh.
And he took a sheet and he thought of drawing a cock, and he draw the cock with the painting. She drew the cock with that painting brush, and after drawing the cock, and that cock got life, and it suddenly jumped up from the paper to the floor, and it went off. And next she thought of writing a hen,
Drawing a hen.
And
Stop.
And the paper was moving, and came and come out of a hen, and she take a hen and went to one poor old woman, and she tell, this is your, and old man said, this is my, and Malyanga said, this is yours, and old man took the hen, and it is lay the egg.
Okay, very good. Very good. We'll tell the story one more time. But this time, you will tell us the story. You will tell us the story by acting it out. Is that all right with you?
yes, ma'am.
How many characters were there in the story?
3, 4, 5.
There were 3 main characters. Father, the son, and the donkey. How many men?
One man.
No.
2 men.
Are you sure?
Yes, 3 men.
3 men. There were 3 men, and how many women were there?
1.
2 women. 2 women. So how many characters do we need in all?
8.
8. I need some volunteers to play these characters. That's Shreyas, Prajwal, and Nikhil. What are you playing, Prajwal?
Son.
You're playing the
Son.
son.
Donkey character.
You're playing the character of the donkey. What are you playing?
Father.
The father. Who will play the first woman? Sneha. Who will play the first man? Aditya, will you play that character?
Yes, ma'am.
First man?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Second woman? Pratibha.
I'll play the second woman.
Okay.
I'll play the second man.
Who is the third man? Tejas.
I'm going to play the third man.
Shall we begin? Yes, ma'am. Come on.
You are stupid. You are having a donkey. You can ride on it.
You are riding on the donkey and your son is walking.
Hey man, that's not kind. You are riding and your father is walking.
Are you crazy? 2 of them on the donkey. It is too heavy for the donkey to carry. It is nearly dead.
The donkey is too tired. Can't you carry it to the market? We'll not buy that donkey. It is too late.
So what happens at the end of the story?
If you want to make your mother happy, you make me happy.
Come, sit down. Sit down. So So how does the story end?
If you want to make everybody happy, you make nobody happy. That's the moral of the story.
That's also the end of the story. Shall we call our friends back?
Yes, ma'am.
Tejas, Shruti, come. Do you know what we were doing while you were out?
No.
Your friends are going to tell you.
We were listening to a story.
What's the name of the story?
The Boar and the Chameleon. We are going to tell you the story.
Who's going to begin? Oh, very good.
The boar, who was in search of food, met a chameleon at the foot of a tree. The boar greeted the chameleon and started teasing him.
The boar told the chameleon that he looked half dead and was walking lazily.
The chameleon told the boar not to be proud of his strength, and he said that he was matched for the boar anytime.
All right.
The boar got angry and told the chameleon to hold his tongue, and he even called him a little wretched creature.
And then what happened?
The boar challenged the chameleon to a race.
Yes.
The chameleon agreed readily. The chameleon showed the little hill to the boar and said that it would be the goal.
All right, very good.
The boar was all set to go and started running. And the little tricky chameleon held on to the boar's tail.
When the goal was reached, the boar asked the chameleon where he was.
The clever little chameleon dropped off the boar's tail and said that he was right there.
The boar was very proud. He couldn't accept the defeat so easily, so he challenged the chameleon to another race.
The little chameleon did not repeated the same trick, and he reached the hill at the same time as his enemy.
Very good.
Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Laughed the boar and asked the chameleon where he was.
The chameleon said that he was right there.
The boar was ashamed and puzzled and had to admit his defeat. And he had to accept that the chameleon won the race.
Yes. Very good. Did you two enjoy the story?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. We enjoyed telling it to you.